Hi folks. So, seeing as how my neighbor showed up and changed my game plan for today, not going to get too much done. So I thought maybe we'd just have a little chat about my neighbor. Ursus americana, I believe the biologists call him, or the common black bear. He lives in almost every state in the United States. They thrive in most places. Um, they don't do so well around brown bear or grizzly. They'll outright kill them. They say if a bear gets after you, you climb up a tree, get away from them. The difference between a black bear and a grizzly: the black bear will crawl up the tree and get you. The grizzly will push it down. Something to be said for that. There's definitely some horsepower to a grizz, and there's definitely some agility to a black bear. They, while they're of the same species, they're different in a lot of ways. Black bear's claws are hooked, a lot like a cat. Any one of these trees, you couldn't get high enough that one of them couldn't get to you, and they can climb a tree in seconds. There's a couple videos out there of fellas in tree stands that have been visited by black bears, and it only takes them a second to get up there. It only takes them a couple seconds to travel a good distance, whether it's through brush or open ground. That's what they're built for. They're built to move around through these environments. They move with stealth. You can't hear them. Bears around here, 300-400 pounds. As far as the bears go, that may not be very big, but I guarantee one of the cubs would whip anybody's ass that thought he was a warm and cuddly thing and wanted to pet him. I don't believe that black bears go around hunting humans. They don't care for us. But I always find it humorous on the TV, people that wander in the woods and they figure they're in bear territory and they go, "Hey bear, hey bear." I don't understand that. Humans' sense of hearing, smell, sight in the woods is not worth a shit. A bear can smell probably 4 times better than a dog. Their sinus area is so large. It has so much more surface area. They can smell things, I don't know, probably a mile away. They can hear way better than a human, much like a dog. People say they don't see good. Well, they don't have to. They only need to see 100 feet. Their whole life, everything happens within 100 feet. They're not a hawk. They get around at night just fine, so I believe their sight is probably at least as good as ours, and better at night. Very, very curious, much like a cat. Anything that they come across that they haven't seen before, they'll investigate, and that's what's going on up here. I come up here in his neighborhood, set up camp, and he just keeps checking it out, you know. I bring new things up, he wants to see what the hell I'm bringing up here, you know. So, never seen a tarp before. They don't have a feel like a human does, so any feeling they get is through their mouth, so they chew the hell out of anything that they're interested in. I don't think he was thinking it was food or anything. They're just curious and want to figure out what the hell it is. But I did think it was just amazing. I got beer cans floating in water. Very small pond. Apparently he's seen them and recognized that, well, that's different. So he had to fish them out of the pond with his mouth, which isn't really designed to pick up a beer can. I really wish my trail cam was still working. I could have got some footage there of him bobbing for beer cans. That would have made a good video. But by God, he hung in there, and there was 3 in there. He got all 3 of them out, and must have liked them, because he kept after it there. I don't know. Interesting critter. Kind of a pain in the ass. You can't hold it against them. They're just doing what they do, you know. As far as them being a menacing critter, yeah, if you get between a mama and a cub, you're going to have a problem. But for those of you that go backpacking and hiking in the woods, that kind of thing, if you're going into their neighborhood, you got to go in there with the understanding that they are the big kid on the block. You wandering around going, "Hey bear," he knows you're there. Long before Hey Bear is going to warn him that you're walking up on him, he can hear you. He probably smelled you a quarter of a mile before you even thought there might be a bear in the area. If he's got a problem with you, or she, they're going to stand their ground. They're going to let you walk through there and come up on them. If they don't want to deal with you, then yeah, they'll head uphill and you'll never see them and never know they were there. But I don't know, sometimes they're quirky. You come in their area, maybe they're eating there, or that's a spot where they like to bed down, and you're disturbing them, they may not leave. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going in their area, carry something to protect yourself, something better than Hey Bear. Pepper spray with black bears, I believe, is an excellent deterrent. If you don't like carrying a lethal defense, carrying a gun works well too. You don't have to shoot them 90% of the time. You just fire a shot their general direction, and they'll get the hell out. They're around people enough that they understand that. So, but I don't know. Just an interesting critter. I thought it's just too funny that he's able to fish those cans out of there and mauled up this tarp. It was folded up and hanging, or just setting up here. But out of everything around here, it's like those 2 things were what was different, and he just had to see what they were, you know, feel them, taste them. I don't know. Must have had a hell of a good time. I'm really sorry I didn't get it on camera. I gotta buy me another game cam. But anyways, just taking a little break. Thought maybe we'd chat for a minute. Any of you got any opinions on it? Or any cool experiences with them? Let me know. Brown bears, I only had one experience with them, caribou hunting up in the Alaska range, and we'd been there about 4 days. Just finished breakfast and got stuff cleaned up. We was headed out to a high knoll out there, pretty flat land where we were at. We just got up on this knoll a couple hundred yards from camp, and my partner, he says, "Gino, check that out." I swing around with my spot and scope, and about a quarter mile out is a brown bear making a beeline for our camp. I mean, at a good trot. He'd smelled breakfast evidently, and he was hoping there was some leftovers. Now, we were probably better than 100 miles in. There is no road system. We flew in, landed on a lake. The last human sign that we seen was a camp that was probably 80, maybe 90 miles from there. So this guy, not likely this guy had ever been around people, but he smelled breakfast and knew that was good. He was a dead run for the camp, way further out than we were. We run down the hill, run back to camp, come up over a small knoll, headed towards him, and he was damn near to camp. He covered 3 times the area we did in the same amount of time. So my buddy put 2 rounds his direction, not intending to shoot him, just scare him off. And even though, like I say, he'd never been around people, he stopped, butt cold, turned around, and started slinging dirt, headed the other way. So you don't have to kill them, but you do have to match, I guess, their capabilities. You have to put the fear in them there to change their mind, or they're going to bully you. And I got no doubt. 2 weeks ago when I was up here, it's the same bear, and he walked right up on me here. I never heard him 10 feet away, and I hollered at him, and he ran off and stopped and turned around, and he was coming right back because he got out there and went, well, now I know what that is. I can kick his ass and run me off, will he? So he walks back, so I fired a shot at him, and then he turned around and ran off through the brush, and hadn't seen him since, but apparently he's came back checking on my stuff here, and that's okay. I'll get her done, and we'll probably keep meeting up from time to time, but you don't have to be afraid of them. You just have to be aware of them and be smart. If you're cooking out there, whatnot, anything that's left over, burn it. Burying it ain't gonna get it done. As you can see, he fished them beer cans out of that water. There was no smell to them. He just seen them and fished them out of there. But I guarantee you, he can smell anything you bury. You couldn't bury it deep enough that he couldn't find it. Keep any of your food sealed up as best you can. I don't know that hanging it in a tree does that much good. I've heard tell of them going hand over hand down a rope to get to a hanging food bag. So pretty much anywhere you put it, they can get to it if they decide to. So I don't know. Just keep your camera out. Be aware of them. Take something that's an honest defense against them, and take your camera. You get some good footage from time to time. If you ever get the opportunity to see one at a distance, or he doesn't know you're there, hang out and watch him for a while. Film them. They're a real interesting critter. Real curious, and you learn a lot by watching them. They're around all the time out here. I'm hoping that we get a good cold winter, and they'll go to sleep and won't be pestering me. If not, if it's like last winter, they'll be around all winter. Maybe some of the sows having cubs, they went to bed, but for the most part, I had them in my yard off and on all winter long. They don't have to hibernate. If it's not super cold, things froze up and died off, snow gets deep, then they go to sleep. But if they can still fairly easily find enough food to keep them going, they'll hang out. So anyways, I don't know, just some rambling. Leave a comment. Kind of like to hear from you. So get back with you.